Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 hour to make the best game ever. Okay, so last session we figured that we need to do something about this FPS limit, but maybe we just keep it here for now the way it is, and we will deal with it another time. Yeah, maybe we just say here allow FPS limits and equal get let's say enable FPS limit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's say Swaggers to do consolidate. Uh-huh. Then here we don't do this, but we just set it to true to begin with. Yeah, I think that's the easiest for now. Mm-hmm. 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 So when we call update, oh, so this WW3D WW3D sync logic time step milliseconds timescale over FPS ratio. Wow. I think this is fine. Yeah. Yeah. Good. I think then we can put this back. This. Good. So in World Builder, effectively the the frame rate limit is disabled, no matter what script engine and code are doing. Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. Okay, cool. I mean, it's still buggy, right? It shouldn't flicker this way when we move it, but it's not a new bug, so I don't care. At least not right now. No. Okay, we have the same shit here. Yeah. Not sure if I muted myself there. Good, so. Sync time. What is this doing? GUI edit. Okay, that's weird. Sync time. Huh. Okay, that's weird. Draw. Okay, but word builder is fixed, so we are happy with that. This is the original word builder. Let me close this one more time and let's launch this one more time, and we are really looking at the right one. Ah, no, this is the original word builder, which has much higher frame rates. Look at that, 400, 500. Okay, but this is debug, I guess. It's a bit slower. Yeah. That's fine. Good. Let's open GUI edit. Let's see what it looks like. I didn't think that the GUI edit would have WW3D rendering, but it does. Okay. Interesting. To render the menu, I guess. So I suspect what we do is same story. We have a win main, we have an update here. Yeah. Okay, so so I guess we just game timer, we just allocate the new game timer here. Game memory, game timer. It also includes game engine. Why that? Huh. It's not using it. Updates our universe. What garbage. Okay, so we have this. Delete. No. Okay. We edit update, draw. Update. Window manager update. So then I guess we call here game update. Yeah. And then here we call game timer update. No, game timer. Common game timer. W3D update logic frame time. The game timer. We have seen this. Logic, was it this one? Yeah. This, and then fraction of milliseconds. I can do the same here, right? Yeah. For now, use constant time steps to avoid animations running independent of frame time. To avoid animations running independent of frame rate. Huh. I don't know. Oof. Frame rate limit. Ugh. Large integer. Suspect the problem is, but Windows is here. Aha. Aha. Maybe. Maybe what we can do is unsigned int 64. No. And then here we do large integer frequency and start. And then we do here frequency and start, and then we do freq equals freq dot quad part start. There we go. Then we just convert this shit, and then here we do tick quad part start and frequency. There we go. Good. Then here we have start and frequency. And then here we have start, and then we have tick, and then tick dot quad part. No. I think that gets rid of the problem. No. By the way, regarding the frame rate limit header, sorry, I imagine we can also, we no longer need to include it in several locations, I imagine, like here, for example, because it will already be covered by game timer. So I think we can remove this and this one as well. Yeah. Okay, let's see if that compiles. Good, that compiles very well. We can remove this. Sorry for all this coughing, but I just can't help it. Just ignore it, right? Good, so we have this guy, we have this. Okay, that looks all good. Okay, cool. Now the question is, now the question is, how will GUI edit look like? Will it look okay? Crash. Okay, it doesn't look okay because it doesn't have a tactical view. Aha. Okay, so we do need if tactical view. Allow FPS limit. I guess we have to start with true. Let's do lowercase true. Okay. I wonder why this sleep is here. I'm disabling this in debug because many people need alt tab capability. If you happen to be doing performance tuning, please just change this. Should we maybe move this down? Allow FPS limit. FPS. To me, it looks like we don't need that shit. If we wait, this seems totally nonsensical. Like, because if we have a FPS limit, we sleep anyway here. So why do this? It seems like this is unnecessary. Delete it. Done. Look at that. Good. Good. Then let's try that again. No. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. All right, so the window works. Let's open some file. That's weird. I cannot. Our cursor is locked in this window. We can't go outside there. Now we can. That's weird. So let's go to this PC data projects here, mpatch, and we open edited window. Let's open something simple. Diplomacy is simple, right? Let's do that. Okay, it opens. Animations. Okay, so there's this. This looks fine. Let's open some other menu. How about how about challenge load screen? I don't know. I can't say if it's looking good or bad. It looks fine. So there's some animation here. I don't know if you can call it animation. Some color shifting, changing. Some, I don't know how, fading, fades, opacity fades. That looks fine. So I guess it's fine. No, it's probably fine. Let's open some other. This one also looks fine. Let's open some other. Let's open the control bar. Where's it? Here, control bar. That's by far the biggest. Oof. Very slow frame rate. Yeah. Well, that looks impossible to edit. Yeah, that's impossible. Okay, the frame rate is so low. Yeah. Let's open some other. Okay. Yeah, I can't tell what's going on here. It looks fine. Let's go with it. Yes. Looks fine. Good. By the way, we still need to disable GUI edits. Game timer. Ah, shit. Here, we should still disable the FPS limit. False. No. False. Good. But I wonder, maybe we should do it the other way around. Did we initialize it with false? With false here. And then instead of doing this, instead of doing this, we enable it here. True. We still need to delete this one here as well, right? Before file system. Do we delete the file system somewhere? Init instance. Do we have an exit instance? We do. World height map edits. Init. That is after, yeah. Okay, I think that's fine, yeah. Then I think we can also remove this. No. Okay, cool. Now there were some other tools that use WW3D Sync. Let's check all. Here, W3D View. Yeah, that's the last one. Okay. Repaint view. Let's see how it currently looks like. Yeah. Ignore. Okay. Let's open some file. Projects. Files. Art. W3D. Let's open some model here. Laser tag. Oh, I don't see anything. Let's try this airfield. I see nothing. We first need to select it, right? There we go. Okay, so that works. What happens if we select an animation? Yeah. Um, I can't tell if it's too fast or not. Let's take some other. How about Scudstorm? That has animations, right? Scudstorm. Ah. Oh. Well. No Scudstorm here. No animation there. Let's let's load in all Scudstorms. Yeah. Oof, that takes a long time. Oof. Oof. Extremely long. Whoa. Okay, it's done now. Good, so the frame rate is 60. Right, let's see. Can we see some animation then? Oh, we can. Okay, that looks pretty good though. Yeah. Oof. Oof. That looks pretty bad. That also looks pretty bad. Huh. That looks good. Oh, I'm surprised that these are also animations. Interesting. Oof. That's wild. I don't know what's going on here. Hmm. Okay, I would like to test something. If we compile this tool and release, we should get higher frame rate, right? Let's do that. Compile and release. Yeah. It crashed the game for me. Oof. Oof. Well, that's not good. Huh. uh, Well, that is not good. What do you do? I guess he's using the China missile, building it and launching it. Yeah. Okay. Well, ship it, right? Animation speed. What is this doing? Animation speed. Do we need to update the current animation? Ticks to use. Repaint view. Ticks to use. Update the W3D frame times according to our elapsed tick count. Animation speed. Oh. Ticks elapsed. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, so this is just a multiplier for our update. That's fine. Ticks elapsed. Animation speed. Uh-huh. Ticks. That's milliseconds. Only update the frame if the animation is supposed to be playing. Only update the frame if the animation is supposed to be playing. Hmm. Hmm. Frame rate still is 62. There seems to be a frame limit here. Why is that? Let's put a breakpoint here. Oh, it's not hitting. Huh. Already painting. That's weird. Oh, okay. Huh. Ticks to use 0. Huh. Where's this being called from? Oof. There are multiple places. Ticks. Oof. Uh-huh. So that's a fixed tick rate. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Make movie. Uh-huh. Let's see. Okay. I think I see. Yeah. Okay, so if this is 0, then we do this. Tixi Labs, otherwise ticks to use fixed time. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Then Mhm. Okay, let's just implement it the way that we think it should be implemented. Yeah. So, for starters, here, here we would do update logic frame time. This one takes float milliseconds. There we just pass the ticks to use. No, that's fine. And then here we just pass sync true. No. Okay. I think that's good enough. And here we do here we do basically this here. Sorry about that. Again, sorry. Oh, is this? I think the view is not including. It's this one is. This one is not including game engine. We don't have game timer. Yeah. Okay. In that case, what do we do then? Then we do time get time. Time get time. Sync. Yeah. Yeah. I think we just do the same here. Just this. Right. Yeah. Okay, let's see how that looks. Let's use this. Let's use the airfields. Airfields. Okay. Nothing too suspicious. Let's open the Scudstorm again. Looks same as before. So do we have like animation? Can we like make it faster? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, okay, cool. Blend frames. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. So this with interpolation. This was out. Okay, cool. Would have been good though if they put a number here, because it's hard to put it back to 1. You don't know where that is. Where's 1? Yeah. Okay, well, it looks pretty good. Cancel. Yeah, so I can't tell if to me it looks like it's a correct speed, but it could be mistaken. Maybe it's too slow, too fast. How about we compare it with in-game? So we are at 6. It would be nice if we could increase this frame rate here. Why is it capped at 60? Can we maybe figure that out? No idea. We could compare it with in-game, how it looks there, but let's assume it's correct. Yeah. Yeah. Good. They really like those statics in the functions, right? Yeah, they have a fable for that. Yeah. Okay. Good. I hope I didn't make a mistake, but it seems like it makes sense. Project time step milliseconds. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me check this here word builder. Word builder. Let's go back to debug. So if I put a breakpoint here, then let's look at WW3D. Oh, I can't. Oh. Here, fractional MS is 33.3. Okay. 33. So what happens? What is this returning? 1. Why? So logic timescale. Hold on. Oh, that's weird. So it's only... Huh. The FPS goes down when nothing is happening. That's weird. $30. Uh-huh. Alright, because we don't have logic timescale enabled. Uh-huh. So we'll cap it by the frame rate. Uh-huh. Okay, frames per second limit. Frames per second limit. Oof. Um, I wonder if this is correct here. Since we don't have logic timescale FPS. Frames per second limit. Yeah, we don't have a frame rate limit really. So I think that's not right. Um, mhm. Okay, how about we do a bool is frame rate limit enabled? Frames per second limit enabled. And then, so that one will be return enable that, and the global data use FPS limits. Then frames per second limit enabled. Maybe we should move all of this into this function. Maybe we should take these guys. Return this. And then here we do a int get actual frames per second limits. And then in there, we do this here. Is that return frames per second limit? I don't know if that helps. And then and then we do that. Remove that. There's a bit of unsignedness, weird shit going on, but we don't care right now. Okay. So it's to do use unsigned integers for FPS values. Yeah. Okay, and then is get actual frames per second limit. Get frames per second limit. Okay. And then get actual logic timescale FPS. Ah. Yeah. And then we have here int FPS limit, get actual frames per second limit, const min, otherwise return this. Okay. Probably doesn't change anything really, but I think that's a correct thing to do. Yeah. The question is, where's this one used then? Okay. Okay. I think it effectively doesn't change anything because we cap anyway at 1. So I think it doesn't change anything here because this one, it will, let's see, so this is disabled, so FPS limit will be uncapped. Okay, so we get this huge number, and this huge number divided by this, and so that would yield a really small number, which is smaller than 1, but we currently cap it by 1, and so it will be 1. Get update FPS, yeah. Yeah. Actually, wouldn't that mean actual logic timescale FPS? If we don't have, hold on. If we don't have a logic timescale, yeah, it's probably something to worry about in the future. There's more work to be done here, but maybe it's not for this change to be doing. But there's still some unknowns here. Yeah. Okay, I think it will become interesting once we get to lift this lower limit here. When we lift this, then hell will break loose. So right now it's clamped because the logic frame rate is capped by the render frame rate. But eventually we want to get rid of this for the fast forwarding. But then what would happen here if this now returns 1 million? We would get insane insane fast forwarding. Yeah. Okay, well, we are not there yet. No. Project timescale FPS. Huh. Project timescale. Time multiplier. I wonder. Frames per second limit enabled. Frames per second limit enabled. I wonder. I wonder if we actually need the FPS limit here at all. Maybe if the logic timescale is not enabled, either we return a default, like FPS value that is default speed, or that is uncapped. One of these two. Well, timescale. Yeah. Front rate. The problem is if we return a sane value like 30, then it would mean that by default the logic is no longer tied to the render frame time. If you start a skirmish with unlimited FPS, actual frames per second limit. I think for our purposes it's probably good enough now to just do this and this. Remove this. And then just return logic timescale FPS preset. Does it have an uncapped? No. Then let's do render FPS uncapped FPS value. Just return uncapped. Returns uncapped to align with render updates as per the original game behavior. Yeah, I don't think that this stuff is necessary. You just return uncapped, because essentially returning this here will have the same effect, right? Let me see, where's this called? Get actual. Hmm. Ah. It's kind of weird though that we get these huge values. Ugh. Hmm. How about... Hmm. To me, it looks like we also need to cap this guy here, which we currently don't, which is not a big deal because it's only used for some output here. But this one should probably also be... Hold on, what does it return then? Hmm. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this guy here. Hmm. No. Hmm. Frames per second. Oh, that's not so easy here. Yeah. Frames per second limit. to its uncapped value to align with the render update. Let's see how that looks in game. What is this? Huh. Deprecated. Um. Okay. Let's do an. Real. Okay. Okay, how about we load a map and look at how the map looks. Let's load, I don't know, 8. Okay. Do we see any updates or so? Flags or anything? Do we see any animations or... Huh. I see there's some weird movement here over the cliff here. Oof. Something is not right here. Is that because it's a cliff or... Oh yeah. Something is wrong when moving over the cliff. I don't know if it's the original game bug or something we did. Looks weird. Okay, so I don't see any animations here or anything. So I assume it's all good, yeah? Not 3 updates. Yeah. No idea. I see now No animations here. Okay, let's test it in game though. Okay. Let's load here into some match. So if we set now render FPS to 90 and then the logic timescale to 30. Yeah. Now let's say we increase this to uncapped and this also to hold on. So here uncapped. Okay. Okay. Uncap. Yeah. Guess that's fine. Yeah. I think it's fine. Yeah. We will need to revisit this once we implement the new fast forwarding stuff, which would then also allow us to fast forward in game when you play, right? So you could fast forward. You could also fast forward a fraction like 1.5 times instead of 2 times. And we can make it so that you can advance logic frames and you don't need to render frames. So you can update more logic than you actually present. And it can be all dynamic. No. Which can be useful for multiplayer matches when someone is lagging, like it's below 30 FPS, and then you say, okay, instead of dragging everyone down, we cripple his render FPS, but we don't cripple his logic FPS. Which could help, but could also be a pretty bad experience for the person who has this bad frame rate. Because they will be penalized even more because they get less render updates, which is bad. Isn't there supposed to be a supply here? Maybe not. Maybe it's down here. Maybe it's in general. It's here. Right. They moved it. Huh. Interesting. In general, it's here. The supply. Yeah. For 0 hour, they decided, hey, let's put them more into the back of the base, keep it safe. Yeah. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah. Okay, so this one, How about game timer? How about we add this to do? Here. We add this to do here. With data. Implement new fast forward. Okay. Good. I think that looks all right. Let me remove this here. I actually wonder if we really need the game timer for World Builder and the other things. Maybe it's not even necessary. Not sure. It certainly is not necessary for W3D view. I guess if we see some issue, then we can still change it to something else. But right now it's close to what the game does. And we know that in the game it works correctly. So might as well just do it here as well. Yeah. Good. So then we have all this here. We have this. User preferences we no longer need. Remove. Okay. Oh. Aha. Frames per second limit. So we take this guy. Maybe, hold on. It looks like we need to merge this guy down here to this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's do it again. Good. Game time, maybe we should add some more comments here. Game timer. Turns whether the frames per second limit enable. Hold on. I think we should do it differently. We should is actual. Yeah. Is is actual frames per second limit enabled. And that does that. And then here we have that. And then we have here we just return that. Yeah. There we go. And then here we do is actual. There we go. Returns whether the FPS limit is enabled here. Limit is actually enabled when considering all setups, all settings and setups, all game settings and setups. Get the actual max, the actual update FPS limits. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, this is correct. Oh, this one we can also merge on the previous one. Oops. Oh boy. This and this. Yeah. Okay, back to this stage. So this one is good, good, good. What do we have here? Sync. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Good. Then this will be bug fix. Bug fix. FPS. Fix. Fix crashing. Fix crash. And 3D updates in tools. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good. I think that's good for now. Hmm. So this is fixing. Fixes. This change fixes crashing on World Builder. Fix crashing in World Builder. And launching the World Builder. The problem is the following tools use WW3D World Builder, GUI edits, and W3D View. I've replicated say the problem is the tools do not use game engine and therefore have no access to the game time features, to the new game time features to accommodate the new FPS, the new game time features. The tools all game time related code in game engine has been moved, or let's say most game time related coding has been moved to a new game timer class. It is now reused in World Builder and GUI edits. So in principle, these should have the same capabilities to render 3D steps independent of frame rates. W3D View is not using the game engine module. Not using the game engine module at all, and therefore does does not even will have does not even remember it is a renegade tool and therefore does not even have access to game timer, but it seems it's not needed. So view tool looks okay. Then your game timer class. The simpler fix would have been to add a bunch of null checks, but that would have been a hack. Okay, so that will fix blocker, crash, world builder tools. Factor. Merge with rebase. To do replicate in generals. At ID to commits. I suspect that generals will fail to compile. No. Mm-hmm. 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 Good. And then this one here. We need to merge after. Merge after that. Good. Great. Do we want to merge this one here? That's what we wanted to do in the previous session already. Oof. 8 new notifications. Oof. Okay. Lots of updates here. Small dumps does not rely on the game memory implementation and would work if we want to split it. Only small dumps for the null memory. The advantage of including the memory regions allocated by the game memory implementation instead of all memory regions in the process, smaller file size for the dumps. I did test earlier with an induced crash in the menus. 140 MB, removing this implementation and using the flag. Here 420. Um. Mhm. Let's see. Maybe maybe simply use the full memory dump for the null, for the game memory null. Perhaps simply use the full memory dump for the 20 MB. If they must be members, then no need to pass the function unless the function is static. So the idea is included, so you know just by looking at the dump file name which thread crash. For example, if you wanted to automate getting a stack trace. On the other hand, the exception record would contain that info. So I agree, it's probably overkill. Ah, okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Perhaps prefix it with PID. The file name. Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, the only worry here is whether this change introduces new issues for users, such as crashing. Okay, so regarding this one, I think we can go ahead and merge it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's merge this. Tweak. Gamlot. Okay. So with this one merged, let's go right to the next one. So we're looking at this guy. No, hold on. We need to go to main branch. Main branch, pull latest. Then we go to this branch. Then we rebase. And then, yeah. Yeah. And then we replicate that. Yeah. Yeah, there are some conflicts. Yeah. Ah. Force fluff. Force fluff. Force fluff. Oh, it's only in 0 hour. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. By the way, did I merge it correctly? Yeah. Looks correct. I think generals will fail to compile. Oh, 0 hour also fails. Oh boy. Okay, that we need to look into. Okay, so here, so it looks like we Shadow volumes. Shadow volumes. Hmm. Seems to be 0-hour specific code. Let's search for this, yeah? Yeah. Let's start new game. Start new game. Let's search for this one here. Oh, where are we? There we are. Seems to be not there. Yeah. Okay. Replicate in generals. Replicate it in generals with one conflict. Okay. Good. While we wait for this to build, let's see why this one here is failing. Frame rate limit. Let's change branch. Frame rate limit. I can't even talk anymore. Frame rate limit. Unsigned int to double. 37. 37. How? Conversion from unsigned int to double not implemented. What? So it needs to be integer. Ah, so this is signed. Aha. Okay, let's make it signed then. Fair enough. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see that again. Oh, this one has also failed. Jesus. Well. Okay, what is wrong here? Also failed early. That's fantastic. Oh boy. Oof. Gamelot CPP. What happened there? Oh, I see. It's one of these here. I see. Yeah, fair enough. Mhm. Let's enable generals. Let's disable tools. Generates. Good. Well, there's a FPS value on this pop-up. That's funny. Oh man. Okay, so this one, yeah, it should fail on generals. That's fine. 0 hours should complete though. Okay, MU heat effects. Oof. Yeah, it's only this one, yeah? Let's see. So, generals in it. Okay. Are we missing any other then? Let me copy all these guys here. Let's see. So we have min FPS, this guy, this, yeah. Okay. Just this guy. Okay. Good. Then that's fine. Fix compile error. This will fail compile in generals until replicated. Okay. Okay. Very high. It was very high. The only thing it does, it raises it raises a preset for particles from 3000 to 5000. So you don't really get a benefit right now, but I guess in the future we can add more stuff there to really bog down the systems to revert all the performance gains that we add. We can remove them with new features. 10,000 particles. How about that? Yeah. Good. Yeah. Didn't do too much time today. There was 3 hours 30 and now 240. That's just 6 hours. That's not much. We need to bump those rookie numbers to 10 hours a day. I think I will now continue until we have those 5 changes merged, and then I will call it a day. So now it's relaxation a bit here, just merging things. Yeah. What about this one here? What is this here? Currently, the game will not output sound when is minimized, and there isn't an option to re-enable sound. Yeah, I've seen this. It's explicitly turned off. Yeah. 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 Feature requests. Yeah. Not important. What about this one? I think this can be close. I never felt happy with the way this was implemented. Maybe someone else can have a go at it. The laser cannot be selected by clicking anywhere. It has to be done by dragging a selection region. The drawable that gets created super weapon ping is fixed in place, so the laser beam is only selectable at the initial coordinates. Okay. Anything that's selectable in the region around the initial coordinates may hinder the selection process. Selectable in the region around the initial coordinates may hinder. Okay. It doesn't have priority. The lifetime of the ping outlasts the laser beam. Lifetime of the ping outlasts laser beam by a couple of seconds. Okay. Same. Yeah. So to me, it sounds like to solve these individual things, let's just talk about it. So cannot be selected by clicking anywhere. It has to be done by dragging a selection region. This sounds like that the option doesn't have a bounding box. It's just like a point. It's not a geometry. That's probably problem number one. The drawable that gets created is fixed in place. Okay, that probably means it needs to be, its position needs to update it to the position of the laser beam, which shouldn't be a big deal. Just wherever the laser beam is updated, you also update the position of the super weapon ping. And then anything that's selectable in the region may hinder the selection process. Yeah, there is I think this has to do with like a raycast to this position to find like the object, some object to hit where the mouse cursor is clicking, right? I've seen this code. There's like a raycast code and so on. So it probably I guess it's a problem if the laser object is small and it's like within a command center, for example, and the command center is probably a bigger geometry, and so you would select the command center. So, yeah, you would need to tell the raycast that this object has priority even if it's behind other objects. Yeah. Yeah, that's unknown if there already is such functionality or if it would have to be implemented. Yeah. Man, I hope my condition will improve over the next days. On ongoing discussion. We'll do later. Build one complete nuke and one scaffold nuke. Group them in the same team. Use a hotkey. And retail. Then shows a red nuke outline. When pressing left button, nothing happens. And game crashes. Oof. Uh-huh. 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 One more. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, this takes forever here. Man. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, let's squash and merge that bitch. Okay. Then we go to main branch. Pull rebase. And conflicts. Oof. Oof. Why? That's unexpected. Hmm. High, medium, low. Mm-hmm. Maybe? I'm not sure. Either this or this. I'm not sure. um, hmm. Probably this. And then again the same. Oh, well, okay. Okay. Oof. Oof. Well, that's not quite right. Yeah. Okay, but it removes it again. So I guess that's fine. We squash it, so it's okay. Yeah. It's fine. Then replicate. That went smoothly. Replicate in generals. Hmm. Replicate it in generals without conflicts. Mm-hmm. You just closed it. Okay. Fair enough. Looks good. Replicate to Jones. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Good. Then let's wait for that to finish. And I relax now. Yeah. Take it easy. Take it easy. Hmm. 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 Okay. Okay. It is severely outdated. I don't know. Hmm. Hmm. It's really quite a big change because it merges so many things. It's quite tough, yeah. Yeah. So basically, okay, building takes forever here. I'm a bit tired, so maybe we continue this next session. Yeah. Yeah. It's taking fire. This would probably take half an hour more for these other two here. Yeah. Yeah, let's continue this next session. Okay. Then we'll make an end here. It has been 3 hours. I think that's good enough. And I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.